Okay, so welcome to a new class. And then in this lesson, we are going to be focusing on UI UX development design powered by AI. Okay, now there is a saying that says that if you plan to fail, you will definitely, if you fail to plan, rather, you will definitely plan to fail. If you leave your entire design choice with AI, like we did in this prompt that we said, these are kind of designs that we'll get from AI, and it will not meet our need. Okay, so let's for instance, let's say something. Let's do something right here. Now look at this landing page, this login screen that is currently loading. You can see that the layout is different from what we have here. And if you go on platforms like trip.com, where you can find different restaurants, there is barely any restaurant that will have their website looks like this. This looks sleek, don't get me wrong, this looks modern, but it is functional, but it's not stylish. Now, one of the first options we have is to tell the AI to, okay, in my case, I have to set up the sandbox, but I don't think I have the time for that. Let me see if I can bypass it. So make the home page look modern with hero section and proper navigation bar with logo, menu, and CTA. Now, the first thing you will notice here is that my prompting is different from the way an ordinary person will prompt. I am specific with technical terms on my prompting, and that is why you don't just prompt. In fact, when you are prompting, many people prompt and they struggle, they are frustrated because they are not using the right prompts. I am specific, I am direct. I said make the home page look modern with hero section and proper navigation bar with logo, menu, and CTA. CTA is a call to action. Okay, I'm unable to send message. I need to set up my agent. I'll do that in a minute. Okay, in my case, I'm having a little challenge with the Codex agent, which is the ChatGPT one. Now I'm going to switch to another agent. I'm going to switch to Raptor Mini that comes with Copilot. Okay, I'm not using anything paid here. I have paid, of course, I have paid versions, very sophisticated, but for the purpose of this class, I am not going to use any of that. So I'm just going to change to Raptor Mini, and then we'll continue our. Okay, so yeah, I'm on Raptor Mini. All right, so I just hit the same command and I'm waiting for it to work. It's activating MCP server or MCP extension. And then you see this extension, this MCP is something I had installed on my system, but I believe it's trying to fetch it from other AI agents that I currently use. But don't worry about that. Let's just keep working. But what I want to explain right here is that so I can continue to use AI to prompt and struggle with my design, but that is not professional enough. The best thing and easiest thing for me is to have my UI UX design and then just give the agent and the agent will build it. And how to do that, so this will be working in the background. We'll just continue with that. How to do that is to go to, there are many ways to do it. There are many ways. You can use screenshots. That was what we have on our menu, on our list. You could use screenshot to, okay, we could use screenshot to, okay, so we could use screenshot to code to generate our UI design. We could use ov.dev, but let's use the world's most powerful UI/UX design platform. And I'd like you to sign up. That is figma.com. Just visit figma.com. I remember if you're using Mac, there is also Sketch, but Figma works everywhere. Works both on Mac and Windows, Linux, and any other platform, any other kind of machine that you run. You can download it on your PC and work offline, but I usually prefer to stay online so that my work can be saved in the cloud. So just go ahead and you can see Figma. I remember there's this, before Figma bought them, there is a UI/UX platform like that in the old days. Okay, so you can read through what you can do, but just click on get started for free. It's 100% free. You can use your mail to sign up, or you can use your Google account to sign up. And if you've done that, I believe that will be a good time to have a screen like this. Once you have done that, in your own case, all of this will likely be blank, but in my own case, I have existing projects and tools that are currently available. So for the purpose of this class, we are going to start with a particular, you open a project, you start a project or a file. Okay, so you just start a project. And then in my case, my first page is named TSA Luther. Oh, okay, this is not allowing you to see it. So in my case, the first page here is named TSA. It's named TSA Luther, and I can start with my very first frame. And once I click on my frame, it asks me, what do I want to design? What do I want to design for? Is it desktop? Is it tablet? Is it paper? Is it social media, Figma community, archive? And usually, because most developers or UI/UX designers start with mobile, but for this class, I will just start with desktop because we are working with a desktop application. And he asked me, what type of desktop am I designing for? Am I designing a wireframe? Am I designing for Mac 16, etc.? I'll just choose desktop. Okay, and it gave me a standard size for a desktop. Now, if you don't want that size, you can change that size here if you like. For designers in the class, I'm sure you are very familiar with all of this. Now, to the left panel is like the navigation section with the title. Show I'm using free version. You can show my layers. My layer is likely my screens or my pages. If I want to rename this, I will usually rename it as instead of desktop 1, I will say home page. So I will just rename it as home page. Okay, yes, I'll rename it as home page. Home page, because that's where all my home page design is good. And I've said, give me navigation bar and hero section. Now it's up to me to design that and give it to the AI. But let's go back. Let's go and see what the AI has done. Yes, it says, yes, we said, make the home page look modern with hero section and proper navigation bar with logo, menu, and CTA. And this is very clear, okay? Now, it says modernize home page structure, and it did all of this. And make sure you put suitable image in the, yes, and then it did all of this. and it did all of this. And it's responsive on screen navigation is responsive. Feel free to tweak the color, etc. Now let's go check it out. Let's go check it out on our Cocoa Food. Yes. Now, and look at it now. So I said, give it the proper navigation, put in logo here, have an arrow section. Look at the arrow section. Look at the arrow section. Does it look like, let me show you another website. Does it look like Zen CRM? Does it look like this web page that is about to load? Now, this is also built with AI. And does it look like this? And this is the same instruction, okay? I said, give me a proper navigation bar, a proper navigation at the top with logo, menu, and city that has call to action. And an arrow section that has text and image and a city. Now look at this arrow section. This is an arrow section. And does this look really like this? This is far from it. This is looking wobbly. This is looking ridiculous. Okay, one of the difference is because, of course, there are better AI that can do better, but one of the difference is that design was given to one, design was not given to the other. Okay. And yours sincerely, to be fair, when you put your prompts, the result might not look like this. It might look better or even worse. And I'll tell you why. Let me show you how the AI agent works. Okay? Let me show you how the AI agent works. The baseline of AI, it starts with something called prompting. Prompts. This is what everybody does. This is what you currently do. But beneath prompting is something called context. Okay, context and -- compacts. Okay, and I will explain. So you see, AI is just like human being. The longer they work, the duller they become. One of the reasons why you'll be hearing from me is because most of the time I'm recording this video exhausted, okay? And then I begin to put in because I need longer time to think, okay? However, this is the same way AI work. By the time your context, it's about 80% or even 60%, okay? The AI begins to do a lot of but beneath the line, you don't see it. And then by the time you hit 80%, okay, 80%, the AI itself is trying to now do something called compacting. Compacting means that it wants to narrow down it's thinking, it's like thinking about your wife, your children, your school initially. But by the time you are getting overwhelmed, you quickly shut down a part of your brain that thinks about school, or a part of your brain that thinks about your wife and your school. You now begin to narrow it down to thinking about your children. So when context is full, compacting begins, okay? Compacting begins, and it begins to downgrade. It begins to downgrade productivity of the AI itself. And that can happen at any point in your own case. And in my case, probably because I've been using this particular codex, and it will reset. I was going to get to 100%, it will reset. But at this time, context issue might have set in. Okay? Context issue might have set in. Okay, I'll keep. Let's keep it all. Let's keep all the changes. All right? Context issue might have set in and is producing this Wombo design. To make it easy, let's give it a design that it can work with, okay? And that is what we are doing here at Figma. We could go ahead and do it here at vo.app, but let's do it on Figma, okay? Remember, you have to give it a proper design. So there are many ways to do it, but just basically, let's start with a simple navigation bar. Let's start with the entire page itself. Okay, let's start with the entire page. Let's give this a gradient. Let's give this a gradient color. Let's give it this beautiful purple and this beautiful yellow. I don't know if that makes any sense, but let's give it to it and let's see. And let's give it this pure white. Let's give it pure white. Now this yellow, let's move this a little. Let's move this a little. Let's give it another white here with lower tone, okay? With very low tone. Let's reduce this opacity. Let's reduce this opacity. Yes. Yes. Right, this is what we want. Yes, let's reduce the opacity for the entire page. You can go ahead and have your own design the way you like, but this is what we are working with without thinking at all. I'm reducing even the entire opacity because we want to work with near whites, but with a touch of, let's try and see how this one looks. Okay, let's start with the logo. Okay, let's add the logo. But before we add the logo, let's also add our shadow work area. Okay. I hope this is correct because I'm not checking. Okay, now it's correct. Okay. I'm not checking, I'm just because there is a lot more that has to go into this for you to have a proper design. And I want this to be 100% white. Honestly, I don't know how that will look, but just for the purpose of this class. And then I'm bringing in my navigation bar. Now I'll just do a little on camera. So I'm bringing in my navigation bar. Okay. And then I am calling it under whites. I'm calling it let's bring a logo in. Okay, so we have our logo. Our logo is right here. And then please ensure, just for the purpose of can we add strokes? Okay, let's add strokes. We'll remove the stroke later just to guide us during our design. Okay, now we have our logo. We can increase it a little. All of this is by your choice. Okay, and then we want to have a city. That's a call to action button. What do? I want it as another rectangle. Okay, no, don't do that. Return this. So you can forward this if you already know how to do this. So I want to have another rectangle. and I want it to have this edge, then this is where I will now zoom in, because I'm going to show you some stuff here. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to click a button here. Let me zoom into the maximum possible. Yes, I will now click this button to give me radius. My radius must not be more than 5. Okay, my radius. I can change that here. I can come here and give it a radius of 5. Okay, that's my CTA. What's my CTA again? That's a call to action. Call to action. Okay, so I'll bring my CTA here. Then I'll give my CTA a text, a color. Let's give it deep purple. I mean, a light purple. Just walking around stuffs. Let's make it look better. Let's give it an effect to have a shadow. Okay, let's make it look better. I won't have enough time to continue to check this, but I hope you get the concept. This is not our best. I'm a fantastic UI UX designer, but for the purpose of this class, I want to add a text. I'm saying, sign up now. Sign up. Okay, sign up. So let's work with that text for a minute. You can change the text font to Roboto or what have you, and you can change the size. Change the size to whatever suits what you need. Okay. Okay. And then you can change the format. I want it bold. This is very bad. This is looking like a very ugly old design. I want to change that text to sign up. Sign up. Okay. This button is a bit too big. It's boxy. You will perfect that when you are doing your own. Okay, but let me just add a little. You will do whatever works for you. But let me increase my own radius. Okay, I want to increase my radius. And you can see it's a bit difficult for me to change it from there. So I'll just come here and I'll just change it to 12. Say 12. Oh, one. Yeah, this looks better. I wanted to type 12 and I typed 121, and this kind of look better. Okay, if that works for you, it's your choice. You are the designer. Okay, so now let's add some text. Now, I want to give this another effect. I want it to have, in my own case, I won't look at how ugly this drop down is. Let me show you some magic. Okay, I will make this 2. I will make the blur 12. And I'll make the spread 2. I'll make the spread so you will barely see it. Okay, let's make it better. Let's make the blur, the spread 0. Okay. Okay. And kind of give it an EP. So let's remove the stroke. And you can see that I have a beautiful, very beautiful. If I uncheck this, if I check this rectangle, okay. Okay, this is all your design. I'm tempted to make this look super clean. Super clean. I'm tempted, but this video will be extremely long. Extremely long. Okay, let's put this where it should be. Right, let's put this where it should be too. I can't help but make it clean. A little bit clean. Now let's put the menu. Let's put the menu. So just fill text, say home, home, home on the profile. About contacts. Okay, you can have as many menu as you want. And I want this at the center. And this is gradually becoming the standard for design. And then I want this to be super. And what I'm doing now, I can achieve it even with opacity. Okay, but I want to have that color code, right, sitting on my page. Okay, now I have my own. Let's design my arrows section. I have my navigation bar. Let's design my arrows section. Let's design my arrows section now. At my arrows section, I want to duplicate this CV. I want to bring this forward. How do I bring it forward? This particular one, I want to bring it forward. Okay. Now I have it forward. Good. Fantastic. Fantastic. So I want to have it here. Fantastic. Right. Right. So I want to have it here. That's my hero. I mean, no matter how this looks to you, this will serve my purpose. Now, you can see, let me put all my navigation bar together. My navigation bar together. Okay. If I group it, Control G, I can easily just put them on top of that guy. I can say nav. I can say nav, okay. Now I have it on top of this guy, but I want it to be super fainted. Super fainted. Super fainted. Okay. Then let me introduce my hero section. Now let me reuse my elements. Look at this button and this rectangle. They form a button, right? Let's put them together and call it a button. Okay. Let's call it a button. BTN. Okay. Because I want to reuse them. All right. All right. So all right. So let's introduce something new. I'll bring in another image right now. Okay, my nav is up. Let's bring another image. This rectangle is Euro BG. So Euro BG. Okay, Euro BG. I'll be fast now. Right. I want this to be with Euro BG, around Euro BG. And this is my nav. This picture is from when we still used to do a physical office. Okay. I mean, we stopped physical office for a while. We are now fully remote. Okay. But this was our physical office. Beautiful memory. Okay. Now let's take from here. I like to just reuse I usually like to reuse my elements. Okay. Let's take from here. Let's take this text as one of our header. Let's bring it out here. Okay, let's bring it out here. Now let's call it Cocoa Foods. Now let's blow this up. Let's blow this up. Let's call it Cocoa Foods. Let's blow this up massive. Hey, no. Let's blow this up massively. Okay, let's use the proper icon. All right, let's introduce something sleek. All right, let's introduce something sleek. Okay, Coco icon. Um, Now this is your own design choice, right? This is your own design choice. Now let's this is very ugly, no doubt, but just for the purpose of okay, let's put in welcome to Coco Stores. Coco Food, I said Coco Stores. Coco Foods. I'm just going to repeat this text because I don't have time to start typing. So I just copy it, repeat it, give it some space, and then give it some space, and then give it some space, and then I'll keep doing that. I'll reduce it to a very sizable, a controllable size. Let's give it 20. Let's return it to our original color. Okay. Let's return it to our original color. All right. You get the idea. You get the idea, right? So, and then we have that text. Then we will use our CTAT. We'll use it twice. We'll bring it out here. And then we repeat it. Okay, and then I'll bring it out here. I mean, this is as simple as anything you can imagine. And then this should be white. Okay. So let's make this black. Let's make the text in here black. Say sign in. I'm signing. Now we have this section. Can I remove this if I want? It's not sweet. Let's bring this back. I mean, we already have this is the essence of the entire UI design. Okay, this is where I'm going to stop. You can continue your design. Use everything we've used there. In the next class, I'll show you how to export this and send it. In fact, I can have a better way of doing this. I'll show you many ways to do this in the next class. Thank you.